Welcome to another episode. I'm excited to share with you another topic, which is children. It's really very exciting. And before we go into the details, I'd like to say a few things about the way I shoot my videos. My channel is called The Raw Colin, and what it means is obviously I'm speaking my opinion, my mind, but also the raw implies to the fact that I do one take of a video for each segment, so I don't actually pause and edit and make it perfect. If I make a mistake, mispronounce, or just have a blackout of what's coming next, what I should be talking about next, you're gonna see that. You're gonna see myself as I am, and I think it's kind of important because there's no perfection, and I'm not trying to impress everyone with the best possible way I can squeeze out of artificial editing afterwards. It's me as I am, and I know that I am not coming across with all that I want to, but it's gonna improve with time. I'm gonna get used to the cameras, the lights better, and it's gonna be better. So be patient if you can. Hopefully it will improve sooner than later. And the usual exciting part of the video is sharing with you some of the comments from viewers, and I have lost the page, but now I got it. Well, the first comment, there were only two comments that I received. The first comment says, your channel is low energy, it puts me to sleep every night. Signed by Georgie Constangia. Thank you, Georgie. I believe or not, this channel puts me to sleep too. I share your opinion, so it's a good thing after all, right? Sometimes we have trouble sleeping. Thank you for that, Georgie. Another one is, I love your cooking recipes, especially your gardening hoses recommendations. And signed by, I hope I got it right this time. No, you didn't. But thank you again. Thank you for trying. That's just not what I needed, but well, I'll take it. So let's dive into our topic today. Children. I'm a father. I have two teenagers, so I went through many stages of raising children, and I'm gonna share my personal take. I have made a lot of mistakes because we are all human and we make mistakes, but the reason why I decided to do this channel is to share my opinion about things that I could have done better, should have done better. What is the magic recipe to raise kids so they grow up to be smart, loving, and great people that will be always excited to see, and they will always have time to see us and have a great, beautiful, healthy family? Well, it's not that easy because we live in abnormal times where social media has changed everything. I would say mostly for the worse. But here are a few things that are important to focus on when you decide to have children. The most important thing is, like when we discussed, when two people decide to get married, they should sit down and talk about important things, important topics that will be part of their lives, just to make sure that they match on the vision, values, and approach about those topics. Because if you don't or can't discuss, maybe planning that wedding is not a good idea because you are on the wrong page from the start. One of those important topics was children. This is super important because if you're planning to bring children to the world, and it's a huge effort that starts and never ends. Maybe it gets easier when they leave college or go to work. But until then, it requires parents to be on the same team, on the same page. And so going back to that initial conversation about children before you decide to grow your family, it is crucial. Are you still on the same page? Are you still on the same team? Do you see things the same way? Do you have the same vision? Do you value the same things? If not, talk about it. Work things out. You don't want to start. You don't want to bring children to the world when you are all of a sudden confused and see things differently, because children need to see good example that is coming from the same perspective and showing the same direction. So it is important to revisit those topics and talk about everything. And it's also important as your children keep growing, pause and keep revisiting those things, just to make sure that life doesn't throw you off the tracks, that you are still on the same page. What do children need? Children need, first of all, healthy parents, emotionally and physically, but especially emotionally. Parents that are one team, parents that send one clear message, that there is no confusion, that one parent communicates this and the other becomes kind of softer and goes behind the back because, social media pressure or the heart is feeling a little bit different and it's not the right thing. No, kids need one message, and that cannot change because it just introduces confusion, and confused kids will go towards the parent who is easier, who rewards for less effort, the one that gives better rewards, and it's not necessarily the right direction. Most of the time it is actually a very confusing bad direction because they need proper motivation, they need good direction, solid, strong direction. What else do they need? They need teachers from parents. You have to be teaching them. They love you. You are the first human beings they see, and they see the most. So they will try to mimic you. You are their guiders in every direction. So if you don't teach them, if you don't show them things, and they want to learn, they want to absorb everything. If you don't teach them and leave it to teachers or internet, don't be surprised that there is a disconnect. Make the effort. Spend the time and teach them. Be there. That's another topic. Be there. I know we are all busy with life, work, extra work sometimes, unnecessarily focusing too much on work. But be there. We have to be there, and not only physically but also mentally, because they need us. And be there together as parents. Kids notice from very little age. They notice if parents are there together, if they honestly are together, loving each other, if they hug each other, kiss each other. They need to see that. They need to be present in those moments. You don't want your kids to grow up in an environment where they are used to parents sitting separately, not talking, or maybe even bringing the worst. My gosh, phones to the table and eating with scrolling the messages because this is so important. No, what is important is the people around the table, not the messages, no matter where they come from. What else do they need? Play with them. Spend the time, quality time. Don't let the apps do the play for you. We have gone through thousands of years without apps, and we were better off. What about kicking that ball? What about running around the field? What about learning how to ride that bike? What about learning how to swim? All those things, fishing, being in nature, getting out of the room to see the world, wide angle, fresh air, open spaces. Just be there. Don't make the excuse that you are always busy. I know maybe you have to revisit and sit down and rethink your financial expectations. Maybe they are too high, maybe they are unrealistic, maybe you're trying to chase certain trends on the internet that are meaningless. I know that sometimes there are situations where financially you have certain obligations that you have to, but we are in different times, and a lot of us fall into that trap of chasing things that we don't really need. But when you decide to have a family, maybe you should rethink your priorities. Children need role models. They are looking at you, they are watching you, and they will mimic you. They're sponges. So be the role models. Be the role models and show them the way, lead the way. I know being with a toddler, especially, super exhausting, but that's how they absorb the most information about the world when they are the smallest. Show them the way. Let them feel while you are there. Make them feel that you are present in their life. Guide them. If you want to have a healthy family, be present there. Be present with healthy moments. I know there are stressful things. Go on the side as parents. Discuss those difficult things that are not working on the side, not in front of the children. Don't ever argue in front of them. Work things out outside and come together as parents. Don't bring two different directions. Bring happiness, bring peace, bring love, so they know that this is the family and the house is a safe environment, so they can feel open. And if there is issues that they will encounter, and there will be so many, especially when they turn teenagers, they will be more comfortable to open up and share those things with you. But if you are not present, if you leave them alone, and get them used to being on their own too much, they will not be sharing those things. They may be going through terrible things as teenagers. Now the depression is off the charge because the phones are brainwashing most of us, bringing up topics that are totally unnecessary and making them feel like, wow, this is absolutely the most important thing. So if you spend the time, healthy time, chances are it will be much easier for them. It's not the golden recipe, but it definitely improves. So going back to that phone, it's a personal decision. I personally believe that phones bring more distraction to everyone, not only kids, but every one of us. If we look at our screen time, what do we spend on? It's devastating. The depression rate is off the charts, and I know it's convenient, but I feel the longer you delay bringing the phone to your child, the better off the whole family is, especially the child. So if that cool app is so appealing and you are tired and you want to hand it to your child at age of 1, 2, 3, because it's wow, they have to get used to it. No, they don't. They have to have healthy mind, healthy body, and healthy environment to grow in. And if you bring that poison device early on, don't be surprised there will be issues. Maybe you don't see the issue. Maybe you also have a huge issue. Maybe the phone is taking a huge toll on you. Maybe you spend so much time going down rabbit holes instead of putting sneakers on and maybe going for a walk around, bike ride, swim. Maybe you've been so depressed because everything is so dark. Life is not that dark. It's not easy, but it's not that dark. But if we allow the phones to infiltrate our minds and just hand it to our children early so they can elevate their anxiety level to the max, I mean, that's a recipe for the family to fail, for kids to disconnect from the family. Before I go off with this video, there's also another topic. Be involved what your kids are doing on their own, who they are meeting, who they are talking to, because these times are pretty crazy. We have access to wild things, and most of them are not really good for our kids. So make sure that you pay attention, especially fathers. You know where your kids are, who they talk to. And last thing about the approach, fathers set the moral standards and approach level. Spend the time with your kids to teach them that they have to give great effort. Don't reward participation. Reward the effort. It's not the outcome that should be rewarded, but great effort, because kids lack effort. They think they show up and they deserve everything. No, teach them that they have to do something. They have to really try. Because if they don't try and you take over and do everything, provide on a platter for them, don't be surprised they're gonna be getting into arguments like, oh, you're lazy sitting in your room for 4 hours playing video games and then going on the phone. I mean, they have to learn that early, really early. So be the role model, show the example, go to that game and teach those swings. Don't take them home because they just fall off the bike and there's a little boo-boo. Boo-boos come. That's just great things to learn about how the world works. It's not always bubbles and butterflies. It comes with pain and hard things, but you get up and do it again. It's part of life. Build the character with your kids. Let them build it early. The phones will bring weakness out. They will not build any characters, or wrong friends, or fights, or arguments, or disconnect, or two mixed messages. So, your job is not your only work. There's a bigger work to be done, and it's outside your job. And that work can be rewarding and can bring huge positive benefits for the whole family. But if you skip that work and focus on your job, it may be difficult to undo the damages. Thank you. See you next time.